Hi, it's Tinky Bell, Reborn Doll Nursery, and I'm going to do a small tutorial. As I go along with the Taylor kit, I will do small tutorials. There's some secrets that even I can't give out because it's my secret of how I make my dolls. But I'm going to go ahead and do a tutorial on how to neutralize your kit. And today I'm working with the Taylor kit by Denise Pratt. She's a 16-inch preemie, and I am neutralizing her with mint green. Try not to hit my legs. There's different color. Okay, now you can look at me again. There are different colors that you can neutralize your kit with. I suggest people get a color wheel. If it's very pale, you can do like a white and mix that with red and get a nice pink color. But for this particular doll, I really love the matte green or the green mix. I just won't do without green now that I've tried it. So I'm going to show you how I apply my paint. I do not paint with a paintbrush unless it's details in certain things. I take my mop brush. Most people have a mop brush, very similar. Some people's mop brushes are white. Concentrate. And I just kind of go like this. And then like that. And the key is you want to mix it very, very light. You do not want to mix it very thick. So the key is to always mix it very light and very transparent. Also, then I take it and I dab it right here. Also, you can also get a test limb and test it before you go to your doll so that you will know. I take another mop brush and I just kind of stick it inside the limb. Well, let's do a foot first. Let me do a foot. And I just stick it inside the limb to kind of help me hold it. You don't want to touch your doll's limb as you paint because you don't want your fingernail polish. And you just take it and you go really quick, but be careful with the creases and the wrinkles. Are you getting this? Just go really, really quick. Get down in the toesies and on the toesies. Just go all over your doll. So I like to neutralize my kit very first thing. Is what I do after I wash it and use the alcohol to rub it down. Then I will do the neutralizing. So we're just barely doing that. Now what you want to do is you want to take a dry sponge with no paint and pounce it very lightly to get any excess paint off of your vinyl. So you're just going to very lightly pounce your vinyl. Don't beat it up, just pounce all over with the dry sponge. And you can use this. You don't have to keep throwing your sponges away. You can reuse your sponge for all the limbs with the same color, that is. You just want to pounce it until it's kind of dry. Just getting the excess off. How many minutes?
4.
And then you can take this part of the sponge and go like that to get the excess off. David? We need this video good, okay? I know you're talking. And what you could also do is take a dry mop brush and go down and get into the creases and the wrinkles to make sure that those are dry. Just kind of go like that, get into your creases and your wrinkles and stuff like that, and you can pounce that. But whatever you do, don't touch your vinyl. Do not touch your vinyl. Always handle it around the rim. You don't want to touch your vinyl because you don't want your own print in it. And then you'll leave it to dry over here. After it dries, you can do at least 3 to 4 coats before you have to bake it of the same color. So and then I will naturally do 2 to 3 rounds of the matte green And you want to do it very transparent because you don't want your paint too thick. You want to build the color up. So you'll do several layers of that. But when you're neutralizing, usually anywhere between 2 to 4 coats of neutralizing. How many minutes? What? And so you just really want to neutralize it. And I'll show you one more time with another limb. You'll take this. We'll just do one more coat. And then I just pounce it on my paper towel or napkin. And then I will take the opposite leg. And I'll just go all over it. I just use these sponges when I am painting, but when it comes to creases, wrinkles, and details, then you'll see me use the paint brushes. But when it comes to painting skin tone, layers, anything like that, you'll see me be using this. And like I said, let it dry on the bottle rack, and then you can do a couple of coats as long as you get it dried. And if there's any spots that like down in that you can't get, you can take your wet mop brush also and get into those spots if for some reason you couldn't get into that spot before. And then you take your dry sponge again and you just barely pounce it. You just barely pounce it, and you want a lot of light when you're doing this. David, sorry if my video was going off funny, but my husband's fallen asleep behind the camera. So you just really want to just pounce it like this. This is to get the excess off again. So just pounce it until you get all that excess paint off. And you may not notice the coloring when you put it on your vinyl right away. Don't freak out, because you have to build the coloring up. And when you're working with matte green, like I said, just a couple of coats should do. And again, I will use my dry mop brush, and I'll get down where I couldn't get with the sponge to get that dry. You never want to just leave your limbs looking really soaking or wet on the dry rack. You want to try to pounce it to get your excess off. And you never want to bake it when it is wet. You do not want to bake your limbs while they're soaking wet. So again, you're not going to notice much of a change until you got a couple of coats and you build that color. I use Masterpiece paint thinner from Hobby Lobby, but you can use mineral spirits or just whatever. I'm sorry, I am in my nightgown. And this is a rack. Generally, it's a baby bottle rack, but it is also used as a drying rack by many artists. You can find them in the stores. I hope this helped, and please look forward to more tutorials as we go along. Bye!